Alright guys, let's go through the half guard sweep first. Then I'm going to show what I think is one of the best ways to counter the half guard sweep, and then how we try to deal with that. Then I'll go again on how to try to deal with that as the person trying to do the sweep. So when we got that half guard, we want distance. I want my hips far away from Margot's hips, because I don't want her controlling my hips and not being able to hip escape. Okay, so when I've got my hips away, it's very difficult for Margot to get good control of my hips here. But I still want to trap her leg, so I've got my foot turning down, trapping there. And I also want to stop, like, if you see where Margot's knees are, if she was to pinch her knees together where she was, like, my knee can be free here. This is a massive factor in allowing me to recover if Margot managed to close the gap well. So if Margot goes for crossface and my knee's free, I can start to work back to some sort of controlled guard. If Margot passes the line of that knee, now she can actually enter into like a crossface underhook sort of half guard. So whenever they beat the line of that knee, we're always trying to free our knee and getting that back. Okay, always trying to keep that knee free and a bit of distance here. My top leg, obviously I don't want to get my leg smashed down and knees together like this, so I will hook my foot over the back and I will flare my knee up like that. But it's not just me like doing a extension outwards. So if Margot pushes against that, that's quite tiring for me to try to stop. Okay. When I hook my foot over the back, it gives me like, turn around so you guys can see. This gives me good, like, solid structure, so when she tries to push down against that, my foot hooking here gives me a lot of extra support. Okay. Once we got that, my elbow can reinforce my knee on the inside to make that difficult to smash. And we've got this big gap here that we want to get our underhook through. So from there, I'm going to sit up, try and get my shoulder close, and I'm going to underhook from there. Immediately, I want to get as much of an angle as I can. So the more front on I am, the more likely the crossface can flatten me out and push me back down. I want to shuck towards the shoulder and get around the corner. And then when you're around the corner, you then go from your underhook being at the shoulder to the hip. Okay, so now I'm pulling against the hip. I want to pull Margot's weight forward, switch feet, so my right leg, so my left leg takes over, my right leg's going to come out. I'm going to drag the foot as far back as possible. See how that has turned Margot's hips, which is really important. Okay, I do not want Margot facing me and driving me back. Okay. So see how she can do that here? Yeah, let's go back. Do that now, Margot? Yeah, she can't. Okay, so this is really important. Once we got that, bridging off our left leg, so off my knees pointed up, I'm posting on my toes. I'm going to bridge in, retract my leg, and come up to standing. So now my left knee's down, right leg's up. I'm in good positioning to start to drive through and finish the sweep. Let's have a look at that from another angle. Get my hips away and freeing my knee. I'm always working at that space, reinforcing my knee with my elbow, blocking the far shoulder. I'm going to sit up, underhook high. This will turn my angle, right? See how it's changed my angle relative to mine. If I go straight for the hip, I don't get to change the angle. So I start high, and then I immediately go to the hip because I want to keep my chest tight and elbow back. Now that I'm stuck to the hip, I will go over why this is important when we see the defense, but it's very hard for Margot to move away from me to start to make space. So I'm stuck to her now. Okay? Pull her hips forward, switch feet, drag the foot, bridge, come up, driving through, and finish the sweep. I've got sweep, so this is just one of them. If Margot's doing the sweep, I want everyone to have a go at this with a bit of light resistance, just lightly. To me, this is probably the best way of countering the half guard sweep, I think, in that it gets me in a better position for the fact that Margot's tried to to do the sweep, and that's going towards 3/4 mount. There's a few different ways we can go about this, but essentially, let's just focus on like already, like when I'm in the half guard and I know Margot's looking for the underhook, I want to already start like thinking about pointing my knee out more here. I'm gonna essentially try to get my knee over the top as she goes for the underhook. So as Margot goes up for the underhook, I'm gonna be looking to take my knee over this side and drive towards 3/4 mount, which is gonna suck for Margot as the half guard play. So essentially, like to do that, you kind of already want your hips facing this way. If I'm facing here, it's going to be much harder for me to bring that over as she goes up, and it's hard for me to get that across the hip. So I already want my hips kind of facing this way a little bit. So we're going to be doing that already. We can be blocking the hip to make a bit more space. So if you watch Margot's action of going for the half guard sweep, I can kind of block that closing of the distance here, so it's a little easier to free my knee up and start to come across. And yeah, a lot of people will, because you can go for half guard sweep when someone's standing as well. Like you can go like from a knee cut sort of position, but instead of being in a full knee cut where if Margot gets the underhook, this is not good for me. My knee cut will be a little bit more sensitive to the middle of the stomach. Yeah, so if she goes for the underhook here, I can just grab across. I don't want that. It's a separate issue. All right, so let's just have the person on bottom go for the underhook, and the person on top is just gonna like see if you can slip your knee past the line of the hip. So mostly focus on initially when you're starting, already facing a little bit this way, and then get ready to block the hip as you do that. So Margot's gonna go for the sweep. Start looking for it. Okay. So we'll work, this is mostly for the person on top now, just to feel that, and then we're gonna work on how we stop that from on bottom. So let's have a go. 3, 2, 1. We need to force the knee to twist back in. I need the knee cannot go on this side when I get the underhook. That's really bad. I need to get it back on the inside where I can get my sweep to occur. So as I go to get my underhook and Margot stands up, what I need to do, I need to catch my knee behind Margot's knee and my bottom leg catching at the ankle. So from here we can do a scissoring action with our legs, and I move I arch my chest back. So I actually have to fall almost back to my back a little bit, just to allow it to open this space up. So imagine when I'm doing this underhook, I'm kind of curled up. It's hard to see. I'm not giving much gap, just here. Yeah, I need that knee to go there, so the bigger I can make that gap, the better. So I'm going to do this scissor action with my legs, but I'm also going to open that gap up as I do that to get that knee down. Once the knee's down, I can go back up and keep the fight going. So I get the underhook, Margot stands up, and I force that knee back down into the middle. So I have to hook the ankle and the back of the knee here to get this to happen. All right, again. Okay. Now I've got my underhook. All right, so let's have a look now. Margot will still want to put that knee to the other side. So what stops that? So if I just pinch my knees together, she can probably just do that again. Okay, so again, we never want that to happen. So I'm going to really, especially once the knee's out, my chest has to come nice and tight, and you need the hip grip to stop that. If my chest covers that thigh, and I'm pressuring into it a lot, bring that knee to the other side, Margot. Yeah, it's stuck. Okay, so we need to focus on that chest there. I can't have an underhook and leave this gap here. Once I've jammed the knee down, chest up, pulling back nice and tight with my arm. And I can just get up here. Okay, so I don't need to do the whole leg drag. The knee's free now, so I can actually just stand up from there and keeping the knee pinched and work out the same takedown from there. All right, to make it a little bit harder, a little bit more complicated. Sometimes, once my knee is bent, like once the knee is bent like this, it's very hard, and there's pressure there, it's very hard to turn out. But some people really want to drive their knee across, and the way they'll do that then is to straighten the leg. Because once it's straight, you can put as much pressure on my leg as possible, but it can actually rotate. Okay? And once it's rotated, I can then point it up to the roof and keep going. So if Margot does this to me, so as it going back. So I've gone to bring my leg up, she's done the scissor, and forced me here, I can still potentially get my leg back if I straighten my leg. Okay. When it's bent, there is literally no way that my knee will go across. But when I straighten it, I can point it up to the roof and start to come across again. Okay, so we have to be ready for that. So if Margot straightens her leg, I get my underhook, Margot goes to go across the hip, I jam it to the inside, she straightens her leg, like this, okay? And she can work to go back. I'm going to push her, I'm going to keep, like, when she straightens, I'm going to push this leg as far away as possible, so it's hard to drive her across. So watch this. So when I'm here, as she straightens, I push, so it's now extended. It's kind of hard for you to go all the way, okay? Now, I'm going to jam the knee back down, but this time I'm going to feed it underneath my hook here. See my left leg curling up? So now try to straighten your leg. Yes? There's a lot of like downward pressure with the hips. And then I get up by bringing my elbow above my head. And we go this way. So you actually go belly down. It feels weird, but it's actually a really good way to get up. So instead of getting up like this now, we're fully trapping the leg, going belly down, and getting up like this. See that? See that curl? Try and free your knee, Margot. I'm curling up with my hamstring. Good pressure with my hips, but I can't get up until my elbow comes above my head. Into a position we wanted. So we can start to have some follow-ups. So Margot's gonna have a go. So first one. See how the world champion does it? Okay, so I go here. Margot is going to change to the scissor, so this one's going to go behind the knee and force the knee back down. Okay, now that we're here, of course Margot could just get up, but I'm going to make it a little more difficult. I'm going to straighten my leg and start to point. Okay, so Margot's going to push my leg away. It's hard for me to get it. See, I'm like stretched out. It's hard to get my knee across. And she's going to really curl belly down and hook this leg behind. Hang on, wait. Curl this leg over. Yeah, good. And start to go belly down now. Put your hips in. Yeah. Scroll. Good. Okay, so now I cannot remove that. This elbow will go above the head. Go back. Put your shoulders in and bring it up. Yes. Good. And then start to come up. Alright. Play around with that. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it.
You do it a little, it gets really comfortable.
She's filming already. All right. So sometimes when this person will like sort of drop back and straighten like this, and it's going to be hard to feed that belly down position here because of where we are. I'll actually get up. I'll get up just to feed it. So maybe look from the back. When we're here, I will get up, curl, switch, and then I'm in position to finish. Yeah, so that'll happen quite a lot. Sometimes even initially when I'm going the underhook, if the person like straightens and then like that, I'll often get up, speed, and curl around the side.